Good morning, good evening, or even good afternoon. This is Roger Gilbert. I'm reporting for Perrindale Publishers magazines, Milling and Grain, International Aquafeed, and Pet Food International. And we are here in Atlanta on the final few hours of IPPE's 2024 event. And I'm in the company of Nath Morris, and he's in fact I'll ask him to explain his role here, but he has recently had a promotion, haven't you, Nath?
Yes, I have. I've been 10 years running the show here at IPPE, and now I have taken over as president of the Association of U.S. Poultry and Eggs. So still have the show, still is the biggest part of our running of the association, and Gwen Venable has taken over as executive vice president of the Expo and Communication. But thank you, and I've had this role as president for 6 months now.
Yeah, well, congratulations.
Well,
and what does that mean in terms of the shows that are here? Because it's not just about feed, which we're interested in.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, we're still managing the show. AFIA, the American Feed Industry Association, is still a partner, and as is the Meat Institute, formerly known as North American Meat Institute. So U.S. Poultry still manages the show for the most part. We're here in Atlanta, so we've got ties to all the vendors here and the hotel contracts and the facility. So.
And I know it's still a little bit early, but can you tell me a little bit about the attendance this year in terms of how it compares with last year, etc.?
Well, we set a goal of 31,000, and the final numbers aren't in yet, but we are slightly over 31,000 registrations. The interesting thing that I've seen is our international presence has bumped up a little bit. We've been running about 24-25%, and we're about 28 to 29% internationals, and that's representatives from 131 countries. Right. Yes.
Yeah. And specifically about the AFIA show, I know it's out here in Hall A. Any observations about how that show's gone?
Well, it's not really a separate show. I mean, we are the International Production and Processing Expo as far as producing feed, producing pet food. And we're an integrated show, so we don't really separate the shows, but they are that accumulation of what used to be with IME and IFE and IPE. So, but I walked through the feed hall, and I think there's a lot more people than there were for sure since COVID. Yeah. But if I go back to 2019 when we had our largest show, as far as the attendees are concerned, I thought there was more people in the hall. It looked busier. There was more people on the escalators going in, and the feedback from the exhibitors has been. There have been crowds here this week. Yeah,
well, for us, it's been particularly good. We bought our international magazines of the 3 titles, but also in Spanish. And, of course, the Spanish one was in good demand. So right. There's a lot of activity at the show from our Spanish neighbors. Did you see that reflected in your figures?
Yes, it was everywhere. We have generally had 40% of our whole international has been Hispanic from the Latin American area. Which includes Latin America, South America, and the Caribbean. So that strength is still there. We had a Latin American Poultry Summit on the first day before the show opened, and we attracted almost 200 people there. But a total of over 8,000 international visitors this year.
Yeah, that is excellent news, and I'm sure our readership will put this in that perspective that it's an international show that they should be considering attending.
Oh, absolutely. We are the world's largest annual show for meat, poultry, and feed.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to joining you again next year.
We'll be
Mr.
here.
President.
Yes, sir. We'll be here, and we'll welcome everybody to the IPP 2025 next January.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Nath.
Thank you.
All
Roger.
the best.